that after the death of the person, the distribution of wealth is taking place. All the people who deserve a share, they are present. The son is there, the daughter is there, the wife is there, the mother is there, the father is there. All these people are present. At the same time, some other relatives show up as well. Some distant relatives. And this happens. When people find out that, okay, on that day, the distribution of wealth will take place, people will come from far-fetched places. So they will show up at the time of distribution. So ulul qurba, the relatives. Somehow relatives, find out, okay, the distribution is taking place on such and such date. So they will show up at that time. At the same time, the word goes out and some orphans, they find out and they show up as well. Or in today's modern times, what happens is people who are running orphanage homes, they will show up. And the third category of people who might show up are the needy people. Fuqara, masakeen. The ones who have nothing in their possession. They show up as well at the time of distribution. So in regards to these people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructs the ones who are distributing the wealth, فَارْزُقُوهُمْ مِنْهُ. Give unto them something from this wealth. It is important to understand what will come, how will this happen, and what are the logistics of that, and how much, and with which ratio, and all these things. We will touch on that, little bit, inshallah. But it's important to understand. وَقُولُوا لَهُمْ قَوْلًا مَعْرُوفًا, and say to them a kind word. So this would mean that when the taqseem or the distribution is taking place, and other relatives, distant relatives and orphans, or the administrators or directors of orphanage homes, or the ones who are advocating for them, or ones who are asking on behalf of orphans, or the needy people, when they appear, when they show up at the time of distribution, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, give unto them something as well from this wealth. So now comes a question. The ulama have debated. There are mainly two opinions among the scholars. Some ulama believed that this amr is ala al-wujub. It means that this is obligatory. So the ones who are distributing the wealth, it is obligatory upon them and the shareholders to give something to these people, the distant relatives and the orphans and the needy. So in other words, if these people refuse to give something to these people, then they will get a sin. This is one opinion of some scholars. The other opinion that is more acceptable and that is more practical is the opinion of the majority of scholars, as Imam Qurtubi rahmatullahi alayhi mentioned, is that this is a desirable act. So when these people show up, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that if these people, they show up with a lot of hope that I will get something. I might get a table, or I might get a computer, or I might get a cell phone, or I might get something from there. And when they show up with so many hopes to get something from the wealth, and if the executors or the distributors, if they say straight up, no, you can leave our home, you have nothing in this. So it will hurt them. They will be heartbroken. And among them will be distant relatives. Even though they're distant relatives, but they still have some relationship. So they will be heartbroken. And the orphans who have no parents, who are helpless, they will be heartbroken. And the needy, who's hand to mouth, who has nothing in his possession, he will be heartbroken. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cares about the feelings of these people. And in order to give them a little bit of relief and to save them from their feelings of from their feelings of despair, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructs the distributors that give them something. فَارْزُقُوهُمْ مِنْهُ. Give them something from the wealth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not say give them everything. He said give them something. So this is the opinion of the majority of scholars. Now, in both opinions, the ulama have debated. In the first opinion, the ones who believe that it is obligatory, the ulama have debated how much must be given and in which proportion should it be distributed and things like that. And the ulama who believe that it is desirable, they believe that it is up to the people who are making the decisions. And those who are making the decisions, even those people, they are reminded that when they have given something to these people, and sometimes the relatives or the ones who are asking for this money, they might be unsatisfied. So they might be asking for more. So in that case, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructs the people who have the wealth that even at that time, even though it is very upsetting at that time and very unreasonable, but even then, do not be rude to them. وَقُولُوا لَهُمْ قَوْلًا مَعْرُوفًا. Even then, say a kind word to them. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ. And upon an orphan, never get angry. وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ. And the beggar, when it comes to your door, when it comes to you, never be harsh to the beggar. Speak words of kindness to these people. So the ulama mentioned that what are the words of kindness? You should tell them that at this time the only thing that I could afford to give you was that what I have already given you. And maybe inshallah next time if I get more fortune, if I get more wealth, I'll give you more inshallah. But do not be rude to them. Or another interpretation of this is that if all the people, they do not want to give anything. They all agree that we don't want to share anything with anyone. So at that time, the least they can do is speak words of kindness to these people. Tell them that we could not come to an agreement to give you anything, to share any wealth with you at this time. So please excuse us and forgive us. And maybe next time, inshallah, when we do have more wealth, when we do have more opportunity, we will share the fortune with you, inshallah. So speak words of kindness. وَقُولُوا لَهُمْ قَوْلًا مَعْرُوفًا. And the last interpretation of this, as some ulama explain, is that in this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions two kinds of people. From ulul qurba are the ones who have a share in the wealth, the relatives. So the son, the daughter, the mother, the father, the wife or the husband, they all have a share. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a reserved share for these people. So these people, they already have a specified share in inheritance. So when they appear, for them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَارْزُقُوهُمْ مِنْهُ. Give their share to them. And then at the same time, وَالْيَتَامَ وَالْمَسَاكِينَ. If orphans and the needy people show up, وَقُولُوا لَهُمْ قَوْلًا مَعْرُوفًا. Say words of kindness to those people. They do not have any share. You're not obliged to give any share. But the least you can do is speak words of kindness to these people. Do not be rude to them. So these are the few explanations of this ayah. The bottom line is that when the distribution is taking place, then if the distant relatives show up at the time of distribution, or some needy and orphans show up, then the heirs, they should keep in mind that we should share something with these people as well, because Allah is giving this wealth to these people without any hard work. Look, the son or the daughter